Kaya was a young girl living in modern-day Japan who seemed like any ordinary girl studying in a kindergarten. But in reality, she was nothing like the kids of her age, as she had the ability to see supernatural beings that exist around them. She was always considered a troubled child who always created a ruckus, and several teachers in the school ended up quitting as they weren't able to deal with her theatrics. Finally, the kindergarten hired a new teacher named Chai who seemed excited about her job, but has no idea that her life will never be the same after she gets involved with Kaya. It had been a couple of weeks since Chai started working, and just like any other day, during the early noon period, the kids were allowed to play outside to get some well-needed exercise. While some of the kids were playing on the swing, a supernatural entity ends up being disturbed and pushes one of the kids off the swing in the hopes of seriously injuring them. Thankfully, the girl wasn't hurt very badly as she starts crying and attracts Chai's attention. She quickly picks the girl up and takes her back inside, where she puts an ice pack on her head. Chai seems a little troubled and mentions to the other teacher that maybe they should restrict the kids from playing on the swing, as this is the 5th swing-related injury this very week. The blue-haired teacher tells her to chill out as kids are bound to get scratches and scrapes while playing outside, and it's not a big deal. Chai isn't completely satisfied by that, but before she could argue, she hears voices coming from the playground and immediately rushes to see if everything is alright. A bunch of kids immediately run up to her and tell her that Kaya has picked a fight with one of the students once again. It turns out that one of the boys wanted to play on the swing next, but Kaya stood in front of him and told him that she wouldn't let him get on the swing. The boy argues that it's his turn, as he was waiting in the line, but Kaya looks at him with dead eyes, claiming that she doesn't care about all that, and no matter what, she won't let him get back on the swing. Chai immediately intervenes, telling Kaya to back off as she can't just hog up a space and tell her friends that they can't play on the swing. Kaya starts pouting and looks down, while the other teachers discuss how Chai has been tasked to take care of Kaya personally, as she is the problem child of the group, and they wonder whether she would be able to hold up, since the last 2 teachers ended up quitting the job. Chai very gently touches her face and tells her not to look away and try to understand what she is saying. But Kaya immediately runs away, avoiding any confrontation. Chai wonders whether she will ever be able to handle Kaya properly, but she decides that she can't accept defeat so easily and runs after her. Meanwhile, the boy realizes that the swing is finally free for him to play with. He quickly sits down on the swing and tries telling his friend to push him. Suddenly, a dark shadowy hand appears behind him and starts gently pushing him on. The boy laughs and urges to be pushed higher, while the shadow suddenly reveals its true intentions and pushes the boy incredibly high. The boy's laugh turns into pure fear as he finally realizes that nobody is pushing him on as the shadow reveals itself. The boy begs the shadow to stop pushing him as he is done playing, but the shadow wouldn't listen and starts pushing him as far up as possible. The boy starts crying, begging someone to help, scared that he is going to fall off the swing. Just when the shadow was going to push him off the swing from a great height though, Kaya intervenes and grabs the chains of the swing with all her might, stopping it abruptly, causing the boy to fall off the seat. Because of Kaya, the boy only drops from a very short distance and doesn't get hurt. But when he looks up, he sees Kaya ominously staring at him as she tells him to move away, as it's now her turn to play. The boy angrily asks whether it was her pushing him on the swing and calls her mean for pushing him so much, claiming that he could have gotten seriously hurt. Kaya, however, doesn't really seem to care as she jumps on the swing and commands the shadow to push her. Suddenly, Kaya starts swaying on the swing, higher and higher at each pass, and that's when the boy realizes that something is very seriously wrong, as there is nothing behind Kaya, so how is she getting pushed? Kaya keeps going higher and higher, but tells the shadow to push her even more. Suddenly, a bunch of hand-like spots appear on her back as she is pushed into the sky. It turns out that all the teachers were wrong, thinking that the kids were falling off the swings because of their own carelessness or because of some of the troublemakers, as the thing that is causing the accidents doesn't even belong to this world. The monstrous being belongs to the underworld that lays waiting for young children to come on the swing so it can push the kid off the swing directly into its gaping mouth. This time, however, the spirit was extremely unlucky, since this time it got its hands on Kaya herself, who is one of the most powerful psychics herself. The moment she is pushed off the swing into the demon's mouth, she immediately curls her hands into a fist and punches the crap out of the demon, destroying it completely. Once the spirit was crushed, the surroundings immediately turned less deadly, and Kaya extended her arm towards the boy, asking whether he would like to play on the swing now. The boy, however, is a big vagina as he runs away, claiming that Kaya is a weirdo and she scares him. Kaya sadly returns back to the swing, silently claiming that she is not a weirdo and just wanted him to be safe. Unknown to her, Chai has witnessed everything that just happened, as she stands there scared, unable to believe what the hell she just witnessed. A couple days pass by since that incident, when one morning, the other teacher, Mizu, gets a call from one of the parents that their daughter has contracted a fever and won't be attending the school for a few days. Mizu tells Chai about it, and she wonders whether it could be a bad case of common cold, when suddenly she hears a bunch of shouting and runs in to see Kaya and one other girl fighting over a book. Chai grabs the book and tries to shake Kaya off, telling her to let the others read the book as well, but Kaya grabs onto it like a snail and refuses to let go. The other girl finally has had enough and walks away, telling Kaya that she is a horrible person and not her friend anymore. Exhausted, Chai turns towards Kaya, asking whether she really wanted to read that book so much. But to her surprise, Kaya is already gone, with the book lying on the floor. She lets out a sigh, telling Mizu that she has absolutely no idea how to read Kaya's mind. But Mizu tells her not to worry too much, as at this stage, some of the kids can be a bit mean, and it usually passes with time. Chai picks up the book, wondering whether the explanation is really that simple, and realizes that things have been pretty quiet ever since the swing incident. She remembers how Kaya took care of that monster, and realizes that there hasn't been a single instance of any kid getting hurt on the swing since that day. She wonders whether the accidents were due to the monster being there, and whether Kaya already knew that. But she shakes that thought away, and reassures herself that the things that she saw were just hallucinations because of her exhaustion and nothing else. She convinces herself that her eyes were playing tricks on her, and there is nothing like a monster or demons in this world. She opens the book in her hand, only to find out that Kaya has put tape on one of the pages to prevent it from being opened. She wonders why the hell would anyone do this, but she doesn't know that the girl who is absent today because of a fever was reading this very book the last day, and something came out of the book and attacked her when she reached this page. Chai decides to try and find Kaya, but when she opens one of the rooms, she finds Kaya sitting on a table with a book and applying tape on a bunch of pages. Chai tells her to stop, but Kaya quickly starts applying the tapes as quickly as she can. Chai finally manages to stop her and orders her to bring each and every book that she has taped till now. Kaya sheepishly brings a bunch of taped up books and tells Chai that these books shouldn't be opened. Chai is confused by this and asks why shouldn't it be opened, but Kaya doesn't respond and simply runs off, exhausted. Chai wonders whether she will ever be able to understand this kid before returning to work. By the time evening comes, all the kids return back home with their parents, and Chai sits back down on the table with a bundle of books that Kaya taped up. She was about to start peeling the tapes off when she remembers Kaya's words about not opening the books. Chai, however, decides to ignore it and starts untaping the books. The first book she untapes turns out to be a fun little playbook, and she decides to check it out for the sake of nostalgia. When she finally comes to the page which Kaya previously taped though, something very dark and sinister emerges from within. Chai throws the books away, scared for her life, as she wonders what the hell just happened to her, but her horrors were not about to end so quickly. A dark specter comes out of the page with its face covered and starts walking towards Chai, who is too scared to move from her position, silently screaming as no voice comes out of her throat. The dark being rushes close to her and reveals his devilish face, but before he could attack her, Kaya appears out of nowhere and smacks the monster on the head with one of the books. Chai struggles to find her voice as the specter disappears from the room, while Kaya tells her that this is the reason she told her not to open it. Chai looks at her unbelievably and asks whether she already knew that this would happen if the book was opened, and Kaya nods her head in agreement. Chai realizes that her assumption was correct, and her eyes didn't play any tricks on her. Kaya has been trying her very best to protect every single kid in this kindergarten from these monsters. She asks Kaya, when did it all start? But before Kaya could reply, another worker in the school tells Kaya to come back to the waiting room as Chai is busy right now. Before going though, Kaya points at the other books and tells her that those books have all been infected by the same specter. Hearing this, Chai decides not to take any chances and secretly gets rid of it. But the best place this absolute imbecile could find to hide the books was at the front gate of the goddamn school in plain view of everyone. Within 5 minutes, the stack ends up being picked up by the principal, who can't see so much wastage and decides to donate these books to a bookstore instead. The next morning, Kaya gets ready to leave for school with his dad, who complains about his head feeling heavy. Kaya looks up at him, realizing that a demon has been weighing him down all this while. She simply touches his head, which destroys the monster, and her dad immediately feels better. On the way to school, Kaya spots a myriad of monstrous creatures, looking for hosts to torment, but she ignores all of them and reaches school. In the very first period, one of the boys gets stuck in one of the toilet stalls, screaming and crying for help, till Chai bails him out of there. Not to take any chances, she closes the stall down for repairs and tells everyone to stay away from the stall. Kaya watches the stall when one of the girls rushes in, claiming that no other stalls are empty. Kaya tells her that she can't use that one, but the girl ignores her and rushes in. Once she was done, she tries to unlock the door and realizes that she is totally stuck inside. She cries and pleads for someone to help her, but no one comes, while a monster appears behind her, ready to devour her. Thankfully for her, Kaya opens the door at the last moment and tells her to run away right now. With her gone, Kaya goes inside and slams the monster back into the toilet and flushes it down to the depths of hell where it once came from. Unfortunately, Mizu appears just then, and to her it looks like Kaya created a bunch of mess. She starts scolding her, asking why the hell did she do this, but Kaya doesn't say anything, scared that if she tells her the truth, even she will call Kaya insane and make fun of her. Thankfully, Chai arrives at the last moment and tells Mizu that it was actually her fault, as she was trying to fix it and ended up breaking it instead. This ends up getting her a punishment to clean the bathroom. Kaya is surprised and asks why did she cover for her, and Chai surprises her even more, telling her that she believes in Kaya and knows that she is trying to protect the other kids, so Chai will do her part and protect Kaya. This was the very first time that someone acknowledged Kaya's efforts. Right then, the girl who got stuck in the stall also arrives and tries to apologize. At first, Kaya is annoyed, but when the girl thanks her for the help and apologizes again, Kaya ends up forgiving her. That evening, she returns back home with her father and immediately rushes up to see her mom. But when she opens it, she only finds the deadly specter preventing her from entering the room. Sad and defeated, Kaya returns back downstairs, knowing that no matter how strong she is, the one person she can't help is her own mom, as the demon in control of her is too strong for even Kaya to handle. A couple days pass by without any incident. But then a new student joins their group, and every day when they learnt the rules about how to walk on a road, they would go past a bunch of houses, and the new girl named Saku would see someone or something peering out at her from behind the curtains. She kept her mouth shut for the first few days whenever she saw it, but slowly she starts getting more and more scared, to the point where she ends up telling her classmates about the fact that she can see ghosts and knows that a ghost lives in that house. A bunch of boys start making fun of her, claiming that she is lying and telling a tale as ghosts don't exist. But Saku isn't a person who takes it lying down, and smacks the crap out of the boy, causing him to run away. Kaya hears all this and is impressed by the girl. She walks up to her and claims that she is very cool for standing up for herself. Saku blushes that all these boys are just jealous because they can't see it. And just because they can't see it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Kaya finally feels like she has met someone who could understand her, and reveals that even she can see the ghosts. Saku is shocked and asks why she didn't tell anyone. But Kaya shakes her head, claiming that she tried telling people, but they all thought that she was mad and made fun of her for lying all the time. Saku tells her not to let it bug her, and she should just dab on them haters. Kaya smiles, happy that she might finally make a real friend. Saku tells her that maybe if they find a ghost and show it to everyone, then they won't have any other choice but to believe that ghosts do exist in real life. The next morning, when they were practicing on the road, Saku holds Kaya's hands and tells her that at the next corner there's a house, and they need to look at the upper window of the house where she will be able to see the ghost hiding behind a curtain. Kaya nods her head, but as they turn through the next corner, they have no idea that they are already being followed by a demonic shadow. Right on cue, when they look up at the first floor of the house, they both see an entity hiding behind the curtains, but Kaya realizes that Saku isn't reacting to the ghost, which just appeared in front of them. The demon starts screaming at Saku to stop staring at her, but it's obvious that Saku can't see it yet. Kaya decides to deal with it, and destroys it with a single punch. Saku gets jump scared by the sudden movement, but still has no idea what just happened, while Kaya asks whether she is okay. To her surprise, when Kaya looks up once again to the window, she sees that the thing is still there, peering through the windows directly at them. Noticing that Kaya and Saku are missing from the group, Chai retraces her steps and asks them why are they standing in the middle of the road. Kaya simply points to the window and tells Chai that she just destroyed the ghost, but the thing in the window is still there. Chai follows her finger and her blood runs cold when she sees an eye looking at her from the window. She starts sweating balls as she realizes that something is very wrong and calls for help. Later on that day, Kaya and Saku don't really understand the gravity of the situation, as Saku excitedly tells everyone that even Kaya and Chai saw the ghost today, which means that they are telling the truth, while Chai is shaken inside the staff room. Mizu tells her to take the day off if she wants, but Chai claims that she is worried about how Kaya and Saku are going to deal with it. It turns out that the person living in that house had been dead for a while by game ending themselves, but no one around had any idea about it. Once Chai noticed the telltale signs, like the putrid smell coming from the house, she called the police, who took the body out and taped the entire premise as a site of investigation. A couple weeks pass by since that incident, when one day the principal brings in a bunch of flyers detailing about Elon Musk approaching children in the parks since he wasn't invited to Epstein's Island. There have been growing cases of kids going missing in the area. One of the other teachers, named Hiro, claims that some of the locals believe that the kids are being taken by spirits, as one of the missing kids returned back after 2 days and claimed that he was with his mother the entire time. Chai gets a chill down her spine as she thinks about all the dangerous things happening nowadays. When the principal reminds Chai, Hiro and Mizu that they have a field day today, so they need to make sure that the kids are safe and Elon Musk doesn't approach them. Once in the park, the teachers tell the students to always be nearby and stay on the lookout for weird old billionaires who try and talk to them. The kids promise to stay safe and start playing together, but Kaya is left alone to her own, as she simply sits on the ground and stares at the grass. But one of the kind girls call her out and takes off her cap before putting a flower crown on top of her hair. Kaya is delighted at that, and tells the girl that the crown is beautiful and promises to return it. But the girl simply smiles and tells Kaya that she can keep the crown as her mother taught her how to make it so she can make more. Kaya thinks about how happy she must be with her mother, and asks whether she can learn how to make them as well. The kind girl immediately agrees and takes Kaya a little deeper into the bushes to find some good flowers. Kaya gets engrossed and finally manages to find a white flower, but when she turns around to ask how many flowers will they need, she realizes that Yusu, the girl, is no longer around them. She immediately drops everything and runs into the woods to try and find her unknown about the fact that she is being followed. Chai, who was busy with the other kids, suddenly notices that Kaya and Yusu are missing from the playground and immediately gets worried about their safety. Meanwhile, Kaya ventures deeper into the woods, calling out for Yusu. When she finally spots her staring straight ahead, Kaya tells Yuzu that they should return back to the ground, as the teacher warned them not to go anywhere alone. Yuzu nods but claims that her mother was calling her, that's why she came here. Kaya was a little confused, but suddenly, Yuzu's mother appears out of nowhere and grabs her arm, urging Yuzu to come with her. At first Kaya didn't really grasp it, but soon she realizes that a demon is impersonating as her mother and nothing else. She quickly grabs a hold onto Yuzu's hands and tells her that she can't go. Yuzu is a little confused and tells her to let go as she wants to go with her mother. Kaya holds on tightly, claiming that she can't go no matter what. The demon starts playing tricks on Yuzu to encourage her and starts drifting away, telling her to come quick before it's too late. Yuzu gets annoyed and starts hitting Kaya on the head, telling her to leave her be, but Kaya takes all the damage like a total champ and holds on for dear life. Thankfully, Chai arrives right at the moment and notices a fat man hiding in the bushes behind them. She immediately jumps into motion and grabs the fatty before slamming him to the ground and runs away with the kids under her arms. Yuzu cries for her mom in Chai's arm, but Chai holds tight and runs while the man slowly gets up and starts walking behind them. Chai continues running and only stops when she arrives near the other teachers. Mizu is ready to scold her for disappearing, but Chai tells her that they need to return back to school as she just ran into the suspicious fat man who might be after the kids. Without any wasted time, the teachers guide the kids back to the school, and once inside, Kaya tells the other teachers that the fatty didn't really hurt them or even talk to them, but there was something else which wanted to hurt them. She also told the others that Chai slammed the fatty to the ground, which worried Mizu as Yuzu kept repeating that her mom was there. Mizu asks Chai whether she is sure it's a man, and she didn't slam one of Yuzu's mom's friends. Chai tells her that it was definitely a man and she didn't even see Yuzu's mom anywhere. The principal claimed that they can just drop the topic as what's important is that none of the kids were harmed. She tells both Yuzu and Kaya not to wander off alone and always stay near the teachers from now on. Later that day, when Yuzu's mom came to pick her up, Chai asked her whether she was at the park today, and she straight up declined while Yuzu was swearing up and down that her mom was in fact there at the park. Later in the evening, just before leaving for her home, Chai hands Kaya a my mate, which is supposed to make an alarming sound when the cord is pulled. She tells Kaya to pull it if she ever gets approached by a stranger who she thinks is weird. By the time the sun starts setting, Kaya packs her bag and goes outside in the playground with some of her classmates when she suddenly spots her dad on the other side of the fence waving at her. Kaya is surprised as usually her father comes from the main gate, but her father tells her that they are going to take a shortcut today and urges her to follow him. The other kids are confused as they wonder why is Kaya talking to herself, when suddenly Kaya jumps the fence and starts going away. One of the boys try to stop her, but she claims that she would be fine as her father is here. But from the boy's perspective, we see that she is walking alone with just a vile shadow beside her. The boy is not as dumb as he looks as he immediately runs towards Chai, who is busy getting rizzed up by Kaya's actual dad, who is waiting at the front gate. He tells her that Kaya jumped the fence and went on her own just now. Her idiot father wants to flirt more with Chai and claims that she is just fooling around and will come back soon. But Chai is not a skank and immediately runs outside, knowing that Kaya is not the sort of girl to simply fool around. Meanwhile, in a different alley, Kaya also realizes that the person with her is not her father as the face starts contorting into something inhuman. Kaya immediately grabs the alarm and thinks about pulling the cord to notify someone, but she decides not to do that since she is already stronger. She flings the monster away from her, but suddenly the monster changes into Kaya's mom, who starts doing her hair and everything. Kaya is so starved of her mom's affection that she is unable to stop herself from being wooed in by the thoughts of finally seeing her mom healthy and well. But the mother's face soon starts contorting as the monster gets Kaya right where it wanted her. Before the monster could attack though, the fatty springs out of hiding and sprays something in the face of the monster which hurts it. The fatty tells Kaya to back off as this person is just a monster who has been abducting the children in this area. Angry at the fact that she got tricked by a ghost, Kaya slaps the monster into non-existence, while the fatty is left shocked at her strength. The fatty immediately claims that Kaya is much stronger than when he first met her, but Kaya has no idea what the hell is he talking about. Remembering the advice from Chai, she pulls the cord and raises the alarm, which brings Chai to her location. Chai notices the fatty and immediately gets ready to pulverize him today and send him back to the Epstein Island, but Kaya blocks her path, claiming that the man is not a bad man. Fatty tells Chai that he is just paying Kaya back for saving his life when she was little. But just then Kaya's hoe of a dad also arrives and takes her away. The fatty hands his business card to Chai, claiming that they will talk later about Kaya, and leaves the scene, leaving a very confused Chai, who looks at the card and notices that the man is a ghost hunter and a journalist who documents supernatural activities. A couple days pass by since that incident, but Chai is still stressed about the entire encounter. That night, once she returned back home, instead of opening Tinder to ghost guys for no reason, she decided to look more into this fatty to figure out what exactly is he. She uses the business card and manages to find quite a lot of data on him. It turns out that everything he told about himself is completely true, so he was not lying to their faces. But she still realizes that the man is super weird and might even be mentally deranged. She decides that no matter what happens, she will make sure that Kaya stays away from that man. She looks at Kaya, who is drawing something on a piece of paper, and she feels a weird sensation of calmness inside her, watching these kids draw and color without a fear in this world. She peeks into Kaya's drawing and praises her, which makes Kaya happy, but she tells her to wait as she wants to color it first. Kaya quickly gets up and rushes towards one of the drawers to pull out her coloring box, but to her surprise, the black crayon from her kit is missing. She calls Chai over and shows her the kit, but Chai thinks that Kaya must have either finished it up before or forgot somewhere else. Kaya shakes her head, however, claiming that she is sure that the crayon was right here yesterday. Just then, a bunch of other students also start complaining that their black crayon is missing from their crayon box. Chai and Mizu collect all the boxes and put it on a desk, and all of them look exactly the same with only the black crayon missing. Mizu claims that this is not normal, and the kids started protesting that they need to find the crayon thief as soon as possible. Mizu tries to calm all of them down before they cause a riot, but Chai notices that one of the girls seem a little uncomfortable about the entire situation. Chai asks if everything is okay, and at first, the girl tries to hide it, claiming that everything is fine, but then her guilt eats her up, and she tells Chai that she might know where the crayons are. She takes them to the junior kindergarten, where one of the boys who turn out to be her younger brother is using all the black crayons to color the mirror black. He looks around and greets his sister happily, while her other classmates decide that since her brother is young, he doesn't know any better, and they shouldn't be mad at him. Somehow these kids have a higher ick than my ex. The junior year teacher apologizes to Mizu for not noticing the boy earlier, but Mizu claims that it's not a big issue, and what interests her more is why the boy is coloring the mirror black in the first place. The teacher claims that even she has no idea what the hell goes through his dumb ass brain, as he is the troublemaker of the class, kind of like Kaya. Chai can't let Kaya catch any strays for no reason, so she goes ahead to take a closer look at the mirror and hears the boy mumbling that he is scared. Chai asks what is he scared of, but the boy just repeats that he is scared and doesn't say anything else. The teacher, exasperated and annoyed, tells them that all he says is that he is scared, and she for one can't understand what's so scary about the mirror. She claims that she can't deal with such childish idiots, while Mizu tells her that she might be in the wrong profession. The teacher ignores her and turns her attention towards the older students, apologizing to them about their crayons and promises to give them a bunch of candy to make up for it. Mizu doesn't really like any of it, as even though the kids in her class are young and can't really understand her, but she should still not talk smack about them for no reason. That evening, Kaya and Chai end up staying pretty late at the school doing their own thing. When the younger teacher arrives and greets Chai, she notices that the younger teacher is holding a bucket and a cloth, so she asks whether she is going to clean the mirror. The teacher replies in an annoyed tone that the idiot kid doesn't even know how to clean up after himself, so she is forced to do everything for him. Chai remembers her comments about the boy being a troublemaker like Kaya, which strikes something in her mind, so Chai goes after the teacher and asks whether she wants some help with the mirror. The teacher smiles and replies that it shouldn't be that difficult, and that she will quickly deal with it without any issues. Chai returns back to her room with Kaya, while the younger teacher takes a spray bottle containing some cleaning liquid and sprays it over the mirror before using a wet rag to clean it off. The moment she cleans off one part of the mirror though, she is horrified to see her own shadow. But instead of her face, the reflection is replaced by the face of a horrifying monster. Her blood turns dry as she stands there unmoving, but suddenly the monster extends its ghostly hands outside the mirror and grabs her throat. She manages to scream in horror, which is heard by Chai. But before she could even make sense of it, Kaya is already on her toes, running towards the other room. Chai runs after her and bursts into the other room only to find the younger teacher on the floor, struggling against the spirit who has her by the legs and is pulling her inside the mirror. She screams at them for help, and without a word, Kaya jumps to her rescue, kicking the ghost away, while Chai grabs the teacher and pulls her away from the ghost's grasp. Chai asks whether she is okay, but surprisingly enough the teacher acts pretty normal, replying that everything is fine, and for some reason she thought that she saw something scary in the mirror. But it's nothing to worry about. Kaya, on the other hand, takes a closer look at the mirror, but doesn't know what to make of it as she doesn't think that the ghost died with her attack. The very next morning when she comes back to work, Chai and Mizu are shocked to see that her entire attitude seems to have shifted completely as she apologizes to the young boy for not taking care of him better, and praises her sister for telling the truth in front of the others. Chai thinks that maybe Mizu had a conversation with her, which is why she is acting differently, but Mizu reveals that she hasn't talked to her yet, so that can't be the case. Unbeknownst to them, the person in front of them isn't the teacher at all, as the real one is stuck inside the mirror while her reflection roams in the open world. A couple days pass by since then, and the teachers take the students to the nearby pool for some fun activities. The kids show off their swimming suits to each other, while one of the guys named Ken tries to make fun of Kaya for wearing a super lame suit. Saku immediately comes to her defense and scares the boy away by the threat of physical violence, which is not very nice I guess. But hey, women empowerment at least. Mizu and Chai call all the kids towards them to enter the pool one by one. But Kaya isn't so keen on getting into the pool, as she is the only one who can see a spirit floating above the pool waiting for its next victim. Once everyone was playing inside the pool, Kaya tries going inside as well, but she is scared as she doesn't know how to swim. Chai laughs and tells her that she can simply dip her feet in water and stay outside, which she happily obliges to. Ken once again makes fun of her for not knowing how to swim, but Saku arrives by her and offers to dunk this asshat into the water like a goddamned Oreo. Suzu, on the other hand, offers Kaya a paddleboard to help her swim. Ken continues making fun of her without looking where he is going and ends up bumping into something behind him. But when he turns around to his eyes, he sees nothing. Suddenly, the spirit decides to attack and pushes the boy inside the water, wrapping its tentacles around Ken and keeping him from thrashing around. Saku shouts at Ken to stop playing dumb, as diving deep inside the pool is not allowed, but she gets no response from the boy. Unable to shout, unable to move, Ken tries to extend his hand towards Saku, who moves away without noticing him under the water. His vision slowly starts to blur as water fills inside him, but just before he could choke on the water, Kaya comes to the rescue with her paddleboard, smashing the spirit beneath her and saving Ken's life. The boy immediately comes above and starts breathing deeply, while the teachers, completely unaware of the situation, shout at them to stop playing around, and Mizu orders both Kaya and Ken to get out of the pool right this instant. Ken hesitantly starts walking towards the edge and grabs Kaya's board, pulling her with him. He has no idea what just happened, but somehow he knows that Kaya saved her from drowning that too when she herself didn't know how to swim. That evening when the kids returned back to their homes, Chai was about to pack up and leave when a black car pulls up the front gate and Fatty rolls down the windows, telling Chai that she didn't give him a call. Chai goes on the defensive, asking whether he is stalking her, but Fatty replies that she is not pretty enough for him to stalk and all he wants to do is talk about Kaya, which is top secret information. He manages to fix a date with Chai, and they meet up at a restaurant where he opens the file he had and hands it to Chai. She is shocked to see that the fatty has every single detail imaginable about Kaya in the folder, including everything she talks about with the teachers. Angry, Chai starts shouting at him that she doesn't talk to people who would love to go to Epstein's Island and starts calling the cops. But the fatty begs her to wait and let him finish his monologue, and after that she can do whatever she wants to do. This stops her, and she lets the fatty continue, as he claims that he owes Kaya a lot and will do anything to repay her in any form. Chai is confused as Kaya is only 5 years old. What could she have possibly done for the fatty? The fatty decides to tell Chai about his tragedy 4 years back. He had a daughter and a beautiful wife who he loved a lot, but one day while crossing the road, her daughter got hit by truck Kun, who wanted to isekai some people and chose her. His daughter was dead for the people around him, but he could still see her ghost, who decided to stay with him forever. That was the only thing that held him together in this grief, but he was the only one who could see her. His wife thought that he was losing his mind, and ended up leaving him because of that, while he spent his days at the park, watching his ghost daughter play, while the other women got worried about this weird-ass Discord mod-looking-ass man staring at kids all day long. But one evening, his daughter claimed that she was tired and her face started changing. He hoped that she would get better, but it turned worse, day after day since she transformed into a specter. He still continued to live with her and took her to the park, but he slowly started losing his mind seeing his daughter being transformed into something very wrong, very inhuman. When he was at his breaking point and was thinking of Alt F4ing his life, the little 1-year-old Kaya managed to exorcise his daughter, lifting her from the curse she fell into and giving her peace after so long. Kaya literally saved him and his dead daughter from a life of misery for which he owes her his own life. Chai understands him more now, but he still doesn't know why is he stalking her. Fatty replies that while working on a supernatural case, he came across a house which had an intense amount of negative evil energy coming out of it, and it turned out to be Kaya's house itself. He claims that there is something wrong with her house, something so strong that even Kaya is afraid of it and living in fear and pain because of it. A couple days pass by since the meeting she had with the fatty, but the conversation about Kaya's house resurfaces when the home visit day arrives and Chai gets assigned to Kaya. She immediately shudders at the thought of whatever is hiding inside Kaya's home and wonders why the hell is she so unlucky to be going to her home. Later that evening, she hands over Kaya to her father and thanks him for allowing her into their house the next day. Kaya's father smiles, claiming that she is most welcome and he would love to discuss Kaya over some tea. Kaya bids farewell to her teacher and starts walking away with her father. When on the way, the loudspeakers start up with a public service announcement about an 8-year-old girl who has gone missing since the afternoon. The announcement goes over her appearance and what she was wearing the last time she was seen and urges everyone to contact the authorities if they see her anywhere. Kaya's father suddenly remembers that even a man has gone missing since the morning and wonders what the hell is happening in this world. He tells Kaya to be very careful and never wander too far away from an adult who can supervise her. Kaya nods and they continue walking when at an intersection, a young elementary school girl walks past them, looking haggard and scared. Kaya's father notices that she matches the description of the missing girl completely and tries to stop her. He very gently asks whether she is lost, and immediately the girl runs up to him and hugs him, begging him to help as she can't seem to find her way back to her house. She starts crying in his arms, but he manages to quiet her down a little and introduces her to Kaya, before claiming that they can walk together to the nearest police station and then she will be able to get back home in no time. The little girl wipes of her tears and smiles for the first time, thanking him for the help, when suddenly, something changes inside her as her pupil dilates and she pushes Kaya's father away, telling him that she can't go back home yet and starts running in the opposite direction. Kaya's idiot dad stands there scratching his empty head instead of running after her, as he wonders what made the girl run away. Kaya doesn't really have to make a guess though, as she turns around and spots a monster who comes in between them and then moves on towards the path where the girl went. The girl continues running away from the spirit while the ghost chases her effortlessly, slowly gaining up on her. While she gets gassed by running for so long, she continues taking random turns as she doesn't want the ghost to know where her home is, and hoping that she could lose him somewhere and then hide in her home. Unfortunately, the turn she ends up taking turns out to be a dead end. Her breath gets stuck in her throat as she realizes that she is done for and quickly hides behind a nearby pole in a last-ditch effort to survive. She holds her breath, waiting for the demon to arrive. But instead of the ghost, Kaya comes forth and spots her in hiding. The girl recognizes Kaya from before and drops her guard a little, thinking that she must have lost the ghost. But suddenly the demon appears behind her and grabs her from the head, pulling her up in the air. The spirit dangles the girl in the air, but before she could get hurt, Kaya uses a single karate chop to slice the demon into two, freeing the girl from its grasp. The girl immediately hides behind Kaya, asking whether the demon is dead, but Kaya can hear what the demon is saying, and realizes that even the demon wanted to go back to his home and was in a lot of pain. Hearing this, the girl goes into a flashback and remembers how in the morning she was playing with a paper plane which flew into the canal, where she saw something which scared her into a shocked state. Kaya's father finds both the girls standing, and this incompetent piece of trash tells Kaya not to run away on her own, even though he was the one who was supposed to take care of her. Anyways, the trio go to the nearest police station where the girl is returned back to her parents while Kaya heads back home with her dad. The speaker announces that the girl has been found and claims that even the old man who was missing since the morning has been found, but compared to the happy ending that the girl got, the old man was found dead beneath the canal bridge with a paper plane stuck to his clothes. A couple weeks later, one morning, the teachers get a surprise as they get a huge shipment of toys to their kindergarten. The kids are overjoyed at the fact that they will have loads of new things to play with, while for the teachers these are just extra things that they would have to clean and care for. Chai asks the principal where the hell did she get so many toys, and she replies that she got it from a kindergarten which was getting closed and were going to throw away these toys for absolutely no reason. Mizu sighs and tells the kids to go out and play for now and that they can have the toys later, so all of them leave. A little while later though, 3 of the girls re-enter the room and walk over the toy stash to check what's inside. One of the girls is less excited about this and more scared, as she tells the others that they should leave as they are not allowed to play with them yet. The other girls tell her to grow a pair, justifying that they are not taking the toys and they are just here to check if all of them are working fine. They start looking through the different toys when one of them pulls up an ugly half-broken doll with torn clothes, shorn hair, and a red mouth. They immediately get turned off by that and decide that they have had enough for now, and their broke-ass principal didn't get them any Barbies. Surprisingly enough though, the girl who was the most scared of the teachers suddenly pushes them aside and pulls out the ugly doll. She stares at its ugly-ass face with an eerie look, when the other 2 tell her to drop the toy back inside, claiming that the doll would be thrown away into the trash anyways. The girl, however, tells them that she is not going to save the doll. Before they could say anything though, Kaya arrives at the scene telling them that they can't take the doll, scaring the other 2 girls, who beg her to not tell the teachers as they were going to put the toys back anyways. When they turn around though, the other girl is already gone with the doll. Kaya again warns them to drop the doll where they found them, but the 2 girls find her friend near a locker, placing the doll inside, claiming she would be safe. They notice that one of her sleeves has gotten ripped just like the doll's sleeve, but they don't think much about it. The next morning, one of the kids shout for the teachers as the girl was shearing off her own hair with a pair of scissors for absolutely no reason. The teacher quickly wrestles the scissors out of her hand. While the girl's friend get a little extra worried about her friend, they discuss outside how their friend seems to be turning just like the doll, but they discard the thought, thinking that this is all just a coincidence. Suddenly, they hear kids shouting from inside the class, and they rush inside, horrified to see that their friend has somehow yanked one of her own teeth out, turning her entire face bloody, exactly like the doll. This all is too much to be a coincidence, so they run towards the locker only to find that the doll is missing. It doesn't take them long to find the doll though, alongside their friend, whose face seems to be twisting and turning into a monstrous shape just like the doll. The girls start crying, while their friend pushes the doll in their faces, claiming that even they should play with the doll. Scared, one of the girls smacks the doll away and it falls near Kaya, who just arrived on the scene. Without a single word, Kaya grabs the doll and slams it to the ground as if she was Hulk, completely destroying the ghoul within and freeing the little girl from the trance. The girl falls to the floor and wakes up, not knowing where she is, while her friends tightly hug her. A couple days later, Chai finally decides to go on the home visit to Kaya's house and thinks again about the warnings that the fatty gave her about the house. Before she could think more about it though, she finds Kaya playing with a skipping rope in her front yard. She greets Chai and asks what is she doing here at this time. And Chai reminds Kaya that she had a home visit to her house planned for today and that's why she is here. Kaya smiles and asks what is she going to do in the visit. And Chai replies that she is going to meet with her mom and dad and talk for a while. Suddenly Kaya's entire demeanor changes as she gets stiff and tells Chai that she can't talk to her mother. Chai is confused and asks why can't she do that. But Kaya refuses to elaborate and continues telling her that she can't talk to her mom. Before Chai could respond though, the front door opens and a ghoul emerges from within calling Kaya inside. Kaya freezes in her place, while the ghoul walks outside towards Chai and greets her. But from Chai's perspective, she can see Kaya's mom as is, and greets her back before entering inside. Kaya is shocked as she doesn't understand how Chai can't see what she is saying. But Chai sits down on the table and talks to both the parents about Kaya and how she is in school. They have a long and hearty chat, after which Chai takes her leave, thanking them for hosting her and starts walking back. Before she could even take one turn, the fatty appears in front of her like a Pokemon and starts asking how did the visit go. She tells him that the data is confidential and it went as it should have been since she didn't feel anything wrong with the house. Just then she realizes that she seems to have forgotten her pen back at Kaya's place and was about to go get it, when Kaya's mother calls her from behind and hands her the pen which she brought with her. The fatty immediately freezes out of fear while Chai acts normal and thanks her for bringing the pen. With that, Kaya's mom returns back while Chai turns towards the fatty only to find him looking horrified. She asks why the hell is he acting so weird, to which he replies with a question asking, what did she see when she looked at Kaya's mother? Chai replies that she saw a normal pretty-looking woman who is very pregnant. Fatty however replies that what he saw was different as he now knows what he was looking for. Kaya's mom is pregnant with a demon child. Chai is shocked and asks whether that means that a demon clapped Kaya's mom's cheeks, and the fatty shrugs, claiming that he has no idea about that. But the spirit inside her womb is extremely strong and something that he has never felt before. A couple weeks pass by since that day, but even now Kaya feels weird every time she thinks about seeing her mother. She can't even see her at this point and only sees a ghoul in her place. Her dad gets her ready for a field day and she contemplates saying goodbye to her mom, but decides that she can't bear to see her mom all twisted and turned into a ghoul and decides to head out. Many people think that she is selfish or mean, but in reality she can just see things that others can't see. Even after killing so many of these demonic beings though, Kaya can't muster up the strength to get rid of the demon which has taken over her mother. Once at the school, all the students leave for the railway station where Mizu and Hiro have already assembled their kids. But Chai is having trouble getting everyone in line since this is going to be her first field trip with the students. While she is having trouble dealing with the kids, the fatty also calls her and starts explaining that he has dug up some new information regarding Kaya's mother and wants to tell her. Chai tries to tell him that this is not a good time, but he completely ignores her and continues on his yapping about everything they know till this point. Chai can't deal with this at the moment, so she cuts her call abruptly and looks around to see that Mizu and Hiro have all their kids neatly in line, while the kids under her supervision are roaming around like a bunch of idiots as some want snacks, some want to pee, while some don't even know what the hell is happening. With the help of Mizu and Hiro, they somehow manage to get all the kids inside the train, and after counting them all they take a sigh of relief as one of the most stressful parts of the trip is finally over. While the kids were enjoying the scenery, an old man with a rotten face walks up to them and starts trash-talking literal kids about how they should be kicked out of the train since they don't even have to pay for tickets while the trains run with the help of taxpayers' money. Hiro gets mad. As they have already paid for the group's ticket, she tells the old idiot with peanuts for brains that he can take their seats if they want. And this old shit stain of a man sits on their seats while creepily looking at Chai. Thankfully soon their station arrives and all of them deboard the train one by one, but when they do a head count, they realize that one student is missing. Chai quickly notices that Kaya is still on the train, so she jumps in and grabs her. But before she could bring her out, the door of the train closes, and they can do nothing but stare at the rest of their group as they are taken away from their destination. Chai holds Kaya and takes a seat before calling Mizu, who tells her not to worry too much, as the good thing is that Kaya is not alone, and that she managed to hop on with her. Moreover, she claims that the principal says things like this happen once every decade or so it's normal. Chai cries on the inside as the person whose student ended up staying behind had to be her. She notices that Kaya is still standing and urges her to sit down, but Kaya refuses to sit on that seat. Chai suddenly remembers that this is the same seat that the other kids were sitting on when the old idiot started yelling at them. But this pisses Chai off, and she says it loud enough for everyone to hear that they have already paid for the tickets, so no one can dare tell them where to sit and where not to sit, especially since the entire train is empty. The old idiot realizes that these comments are aimed at him, so he stands up to start a fight, but before he could move another step, the train goes through a dark tunnel and everything around them changes completely. The old man falls to the ground in horror, while Chai can't even move a single inch as the entire train is stuffed with ghouls all around them. Kaya asks whether Chai didn't see them before and explains that the reason why she wasn't able to get out in time was because a lot of ghouls got on the train at the last station and she was stuck behind them. Chai is still too scared to think straight and asks what the hell do they do now. But Kaya tells her to calm down and do nothing since these ghouls are not doing them any harm, and anyways that old piece of toilet seat of a man is much more harmful than these ghouls. The next station arrives and Chai immediately tries to get out as she is still freaked out by the ghouls. But Kaya stops her and urges her not to get out no matter what. In the little delay, the old man pushes Chai away and jumps out on the station, breathing hard as he thinks he just survived through a ghost attack. But unbeknownst to him, a very dangerous ghost stays at that station, and he just received a free parcel of some good meat for himself. The train goes through another tunnel, and suddenly everything turns back to normal. The ghosts around them disappear, while Chai is still on the ground looking confused. They get down on the next station, and her device finally regains the signal, and she immediately starts getting calls from the fatty, asking what's up. The fatty tells her that he realized something must have gone wrong when her phone's GPS disappeared from the map. That made him realize that they must have gone through the underworld station. He claims that she was insanely lucky that Kaya was with her. Otherwise, she could have gotten stuck at the underworld station and would have never been able to return back to normal life. Chai sighs, claiming that she doesn't even know what is happening, and she doesn't think they will be getting a train soon, so maybe she is going to get a taxi with Kaya to get back with the group. Fatty tells her not to worry, and suddenly she hears her voice and finds out that he has already arrived at the same station as he shouts at them to come to their personal taxi. Kaya and Chai get in on the back seat, and Chai complains that it's very creepy that he is keeping tabs on her location. Fatty tells her not to worry as big corporations already know everything about her and compare to them. He is only a well-wisher. Chai turns to the driver lady and asks whether she is okay driving around such a freak. The driver lady surprisingly tells her that the fatty is her husband, and he always does the right thing. Kaya also recognizes him from their last encounter, which makes him very happy, and he tells her to call him Mom. He then turns towards Kaya and asks whether he would like to meet her mother's mother, meaning her grandmother. Before Kaya could answer, Chai asks Mob what the hell is he talking about. He replies that the reason he was calling her since the morning was because he found out about Kaya's grandmother named Mutsu, who had divine eyes, which can tell things that she had no idea of knowing. According to the legends, she even managed to locate the perp of a very vicious crime. He claims that since Kaya is related by blood to this woman, there is a good possibility that she might be able to give them some insight about what's going on with Kaya's mother. He claims that Mutsu lives right where the school has gone for the field trip, so they can easily pop in and say hello to Kaya's grandmother, and with her granddaughter around, Mutsu would be much chattier than before. Chai claims that she doesn't want to be an accessory in his bullshit, but Mob tells her to think about everything Kaya has been doing for people around her, even though none of them know how they are being saved and call Kaya mean things for no reason. This reminds Chai of her promise to Kaya that she will always keep her safe, which leaves her with no real option, and she agrees to help him. They soon arrive near an old age facility where the receptionist tells them to wait while she gets Mutsu out. While they were waiting, Kaya notices a lot of specters heavily blocking the old people in the area, and Mob explains that death catches up with everyone in the end, and these specters are known as the pickups who float around old or diseased people so that they can take their lives to the underworld quickly if an opportunity arises. He claims that this is completely normal, and other than that, these ghouls are completely harmless. Kaya, however, is a Sigma male and walks up to one of the specters before deleting it from existence. The old lady immediately feels better and thanks her. But the remaining old people in the area see this from afar and start crowding around as they feel like death has been cheated. Mob quickly grabs Kaya, claiming that they need to get out of here as soon as possible. The old people with death looming over them start chasing after Kaya on their wheelchairs, hoping that Kaya would send their ghouls away, as well as none of them want to die. Chai is confused about all this, but Mob explains that when people grow old and frail, they can very clearly see their death. And when Kaya removed the looming death from one of the ladies, the remaining people got agitated, wanting to get rid of their specters as well. He claims that even though these people are old, they are still dangerous in this agitated level, so they must keep them away from Kaya at all costs. He tells Chai to take Kaya and hide somewhere while he deals with these people. And immediately one of the old men grab his throat and start threatening him to bring out the girl who can send death away. Just when things were about to get out of control though, they all hear a voice and the cracking of a wooden cane on the ground as Mutsu walks through the hallway and tells the other old people to back the hell down and accept the fact that they are old. She claims that just by sending away the looming deathly specter over them doesn't mean that they will survive for longer now. It just means that now they will live in constant anxiety as they have no way of knowing when they can die. She tells them to accept their fate as they have already lived a full life. All the old people immediately get back into their senses, leaving Mob stunned. He quickly introduces himself and takes her to meet with Kaya. Mutsu had no idea that she even had a granddaughter, claiming that his own daughter is very heartless and is in no contact with her for several years now. They enter her room and find Chai and Kaya standing there, but something looks off. Mutsu takes one look at Kaya's dark face and immediately loses her composure completely. She screams in horror and her entire body starts trembling as she slowly makes her way towards Kaya and grips her shoulders. Mutsu cries and apologizes to her, claiming that it's all her fault and begs Kaya to kill her if she wants, but don't harm anyone else. Chai gets worried that this old woman has gone insane and tries to pull her off Kaya. But that's when she notices that Kaya looks different as she has a very vile smile on her face. It doesn't stay long though, as Kaya drops to the ground unconscious. Chai and Mob quickly put her back in the car, and a little while later she wakes up once again, but doesn't seem to have any memories about what happened. They finally reach the forest where all the teachers and the other students were waiting for them. Mob apologizes to Chai, claiming that he had no idea this would happen, while Chai walks away with Kaya as their field day begins. She suddenly gets a thought in her mind as she thinks that what if Kaya didn't lose her memories, but instead the person with them inside the old age home wasn't Kaya to begin with. But that's where this video ends. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.